Hi, it's Vega.
Hi, it's Indy.
We wanted to do a little giveaway, a $20 gift card of choice, as long as we can find it. So there will be one winner, and all you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment down below what type of book you like to read during this season. I'll put all the details down in the description box, so good luck! Okay, we are actually doing this giveaway because it's Indy's birthday month. Happy birthday, Indy. Happy birthday, Indy. So it's her birthday and we're celebrating together, whether near or far. All right, birthday girl, tell us your must-read recommendations and maybe a personal favorite book.
All of my must-reads and all-time favorites are in the contemporary romance genre, and I have to say I've been converted. I was hesitant about contemporary romance, or it wasn't really appealing to me before because I haven't really read anything that was kind of like in that genre before. And once I started reading books from that genre, I became hooked. Like, I can't stop. I just love them so much because everything happens in one book. So most of them, or actually all of them that I read, don't go beyond one book. If it's a series, all the books in the series are different stories, just related like a tiny way somehow, just like the historical romance series. So I really love them. I don't know, there's something about them that's just so fun. I mean, I love rom-com, that's why. So I think that's why I really like them. So first up in my must-read is I Temporarily Do by Ellie Cahill. And I think I mentioned that in our previous video. It's about a girl or a woman, a young woman who ends up being scammed when she's about to move out of state for grad school. So her roommate, or her supposed roommate in the new state, pretty much scammed her out of all her money, and so she's homeless and she has no money. So the male protagonist in the story also has to move out of state, and so happens to be going to the school that the female protagonist is going to, and also in the same program. And they're both going to the same place. And currently, or in the beginning of the story, they're also living together with 4 other roommates. And then all this happens right before they're all supposed to move out. Things happen, and in order to keep housing at their new school, they decide to get married. So to keep their housing and to prevent them both from being homeless and their new school, they decide to get married. And the story is just how their relationship progresses from something fake to becoming something real. And I think it's really cute, and I really liked it. Next in my must-reads are also my recent favorites. I've been really enjoying Helena Hunting's writing lately, and I just recently read her Shacking Up series, and the series has a total of 5 books, and then the whole setting of all the stories kind of take place in the upper 1% of society. So all of the characters in it are fairly well off. So the first one is called Shacking Up, and that one is about Ruby and Bancroft. And they started off as not really roommates, but she kind of was a pet sitter for him because she needed a place to live. So she was kind of a live-in pet sitter while he was away for a couple weeks. And then they started talking to each other a lot, and they got closer by talking on the phone. And when he came back, they kind of establish their relationship. Their story was really cute, and I don't want to spoil it too much, but I highly recommend that one. The second book in the series is called Hooking Up, and that one is about Amelie, who is Ruby's best friend, and Lexington, who is Bancroft's brother. They start off as friends, and then they develop into something more. And I really like their story too. And I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to give too much of a description. But I recommend that one too. The third book in the series is called I Flipping Love You. And that one is about Amelie's brother, her oldest brother. He's a patent lawyer. And the girl he pursues is named Ryan with an I. And she's a realtor. And her story is opposite of rags to riches story. So she started off rich, and then something happened and she had to work her way back to where she is now, or she had to work her way to be where she is at now. So in this one, Amelie's brother Pierce has as a hobby, he works with his brother to buy and flip houses, which kind of aligns with Ryan's job, and they meet because of that. I really like him in this one because he's really aggressive, and not in a bad way, as in like in his pursuit for her. From the get-go, he was very honest about his feelings, and I really like that one. Actually, I like all of the books in the series, so that's why it's been one of my recent favorites. And the fourth book in the series is called Making Up, and that one is about Lexington and Bancroft's oldest brother. So there's 3 of them. And this one is about how he met a younger woman through a very awkward situation. He's known to be very secretive and more reserved one out of the 3 brothers, but he's kind of like Pierce from the other book in that he was really straightforward and honest with his pursuit for the woman whose name is Cozy. There was a bit of an age gap in their story, so it was kind of different from the other ones, because the other ones, they're kind of pretty close in age or not that far apart. So it was a new perspective, but it was still fun and I enjoyed it. And the last book in the series is called Handle with Care. And this one is about Lexington, Bancroft, and Griffin, who is the main male character in the 4th book. It's about their cousin Lincoln. And he, due to some unfortunate circumstances, he ended up being named as the CEO of his family's company. And there he meets a woman named Ren, who was assigned to be his handler. So pretty much she's a PR consultant, and she helps take care of his public image. At first they have like this hate relationship. Although they know they're really attracted to each other, they just didn't want to admit it or give in to the attraction, but eventually they do, so it ends up being cute. So about Helena Hunting's writing that I've noticed is she always writes in dual perspectives, and I really like it because it's fun, and she always has like some kind of heartfelt thing in there, and it's also really, really steamy without bordering like pure erotica. So the whole series is fun. And my all-time favorite book at the moment, again, has got to be The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. And I just love this book, and it's just so fun and hilarious. The characters are just so likable in this one. And there's not too much drama that's like, ugh. So this one is my all-time. I highly recommend this one. So I'm gonna jump into my TBR for this month, and I have 5 books here. I wanted to include more because I honestly read a lot more, but I didn't want to overshoot myself this month and say that I'm gonna read all these books when I'm not, because oftentimes I have a plan for myself, but I don't end up following through with them. And I do end up reading, so I'm gonna show 5 books, but I usually do end up reading more than 5, but it's not always the books that I say I'm going to read. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna read these because I've been looking forward to reading these, and I hope I do end up reading all of them. So the first book that I have here is called The 3 Kiss Clause, and this is by Christopher Harlan. This book is about a woman who works at a publishing company, and she really has a negative view on men, and she tries to publish her book, which pretty much shows her disdain for men. But Cormac Delaney, who's the main male character in the story, who's also a partner at her publishing company, basically voted not to let her book get published. His reasoning or his rationale was she can't be an expert on men if she's never been in a real relationship. So she proposes that they live together for a month and pretend to be boyfriend and girlfriend so she can get some dating experience, but it's gonna be strictly platonic. So I haven't read it yet, obviously, but I'm really excited to read this. I think it's gonna be interesting. The next book I have from my November TBR is Didn't Expect You, and this one is by Claudia Bergoa. And this one is about a woman who has a one-night stand and ends up getting knocked up. And this turns her world upside down because she was a successful career lawyer and now she's gonna be a single mom. The male protagonist in the story happens to be her sister's brother-in-law, and he's pretty jaded about relationships. But after he learns of her situation, he actually doesn't leave her side. So I think this is gonna be really cute. I don't know. I'm excited to read this one. The next book I have is The Friend Zone, and this one is by Abby Jimenez. I picked this one up because I was really into like the whole friends to lovers trope. So this one is about a woman named Kristen who has to undergo a medically necessary procedure which will make it practically impossible to have children. And while planning her best friend's wedding, she meets the best man, Josh, who happens to want a big family someday. So they have this attraction to each other, even though she knows that it would probably be best not to because she can't give him what he eventually wants, which is a family. She tries to stay away, but it's hard to. So I'm also looking forward to this one. The next book I have on my list is Faker by Sarah Smith. And I picked this one up because I was really chasing that feel that I got from reading The Hating Game, that I wanted to look for something similar, and this kind of sounded similar. Seems like it has that whole enemies to lovers trope. So it's about Emmy, who works at a nuts and bolts power tool company, and at work she has to pretend that she's tough, but in reality she's fun and easygoing. And she has a coworker named Tate who seems to hate her as much as she hates him. So unfortunately they're forced to work on a project together, and the more time they spend together, the more she realizes that he's not as rough as he appears to be. So kind of feels like The Hating Game, where I guess they started off, really not getting along, and then the more time they spend together, the more they like each other. I don't know, but this one seems fun too, so I can't wait to read this one. And the last book I have is Kissed by Cupcake by Helena Hunting, and obviously I'm a big fan of her works, but this one is about baking, and as I mentioned before, I like to bake, so I thought this would be a fun book. This one also has that enemies to lovers trope. I don't know, I see a pattern. This one is about Blair Calloway, and she's opening up her own cupcake and cocktail shop, and it so happens that this guy named Ronan Knight is opening up an old school sports bar next door on the very same day. So I guess they're always trying to one up each other to get new customers, but there's this chemistry that they can't deny between them. So similar to The Hating Game, because I like that one so much, but I also enjoy Helena Hunting's writing, and it looks like with this one she also writes in dual perspectives, so that's kind of different from Sally Thorne's writing. So I can't wait for this one too. I have a lot of books that I haven't read yet, if you guys can see. I wasn't sure if I wanted to include all of them because I know I'm not going to get through all of them this month. I've been reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I'm on the third book right now, and I'm kind of more than halfway, but I kind of wanted to lay off on the drama for a while because it's getting overwhelming. I kind of read the first two and half of this in 1 week, and I kind of wanted a break. I been really enjoying contemporary romances lately, and I can't wait to read these. I mean, I have a lot more, but these are the ones that I've been most excited about. So I can't wait.
So for my November TBR, I had so much trouble because I have so many. Okay, here, I'll let you see. Those are the ones I want to get to like now. But I have chosen a couple. November's gonna be a little bit busy. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty busy. So we'll see how many I get through. I'm hoping to read most of these books because I really, really want to read them, like really, really bad. Most of them are actually like part of a series, and it's like the later books. So I already know what to expect because like the first books or the books that I have read were so good that now I am anticipating a good read. The first one is Well Played by Jen DeLuca, and it is the second book of the series, the Well Met series. I don't know if the series is named yet, but yeah, so the first book is Well Met, and it is about the Renaissance Fair. And in Well Met, Emily came into this small town and meets the director, really, or the person in charge of the Renaissance Fair, and they fall in love. And this book is about Emily's best friend, or like the first friend she made really in town, and her name is Stacy, and she was just so sweet. She made Emily feel so comfortable. And yeah, so this is her love story, and this takes place in the Renaissance Fair the year after Emily's story. The year before, she actually met a guy named Dex in the Renaissance Fair the year before, and she kind of had this fling with him, and he is part of like a performance troupe that travels to different Renaissance fairs like throughout the country. So this year they're back, and Stacy is trying to see whether they can have like a romance instead of just a fling. And throughout the year she actually has been like in correspondence with the troupe group that he's in, and she was kind of, getting attached and falling for this guy, and she thinks it's Dex, but she might be in for a surprise because it's not Dex, it's someone else. And yeah, I really want to read it. It seems really cute, like an unexpected falling. Yeah, so I am very, very excited about this. Like I want to have read all of these books already, but that's not how it works, does it? Yeah, so this will definitely be on top of the list. So the next book is Tools of Engagement by Tessa Bailey, and this is the third book in the Hot and Hammered series, and I have only read the first book, so I'm missing the second one, and I want it. So yeah, the first book is about Georgie, and this book is about Georgie's older sister, Bethany. And Bethany is part of the Castle family, and they're pretty well known in the area because they have a construction company, and they build homes and they sell homes, and it's just kind of an empire. But Bethany is in charge of the interior design for all of the houses that they build. But lately she's been wanting to expand her knowledge, really. She wants to be involved with building a house ground up. And, she's asking for this responsibility, and their older brother Steven, he is in charge of the company and he is not letting her. With this rivalry, I think a TV show gets wind of it and they start like a competition, a building competition. And so Bethany gets to hire one of the workers in the company, and he is a Texan cowboy. His name is Wes, and he's from Texas. And yeah, so he helps her, build the houses and maybe even a home. A home with lots of love. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. It's really cute. The first book, it was a little weird, like the writing style, but the smut was really, like, it was pretty high up there. Or, it wasn't too much because it was towards the end and it wasn't, every single other page, but it was steamy enough to make you fan yourself. But yeah, so I'm expecting good things from this. So the next book is Wild at Heart by K.A. Tucker. This is the second book in the Simple Wild series, and it is a sequel, so it is about the same couple. So the Simple Wild is about a girl named Kala, who is a city girl. She lives in Toronto, and she went to Alaska to visit her dad, who was ill, and there she met Jonah, who is like a mountain man who was really, really close to her dad, and through that they bonded and they fell in love. And in this book, I think they start compromising, and a city girl and a man who loves to be in the wild, they have to compromise if they're gonna be together. So I think this one is about them navigating through life as a couple and trying to grow their relationship with everyday choices and temptations, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I read The Simple Wild a while ago, like early in the summer, and I really want to know what happens next because it left off so cute, and now I want to know what happens, and I'm going to find out. All right, for the next one, it is also like part of a series, Captivated by You, by Sylvia Day, and this is the third book of the Crossfire series. And last month I didn't really have that much smut in my reading content, so this will be it. If you don't know about the Crossfire series, it is like a 50 Shades but with a plot. 50 Shades had a plot. I really liked it a lot, like the whole like dynamic, but this one has like, it goes deeper, like the world building is even more, and yeah, it's crazy, but it's my smut content this month. I have a couple of standalones. So this Mr. Nice Guy by Jennifer Miller and Jason Pfeiffer. This book is about a guy named Lucas. He gave up his small town life of being a lawyer and his fiancée to try to make it in the Big Apple. He gets hired for Empire magazine, and one night when he went out, he had a one-night stand with this woman. And then this woman named Carmen, he finds out that she actually works for Empire magazine also as a sex columnist. And her latest article is about a smart and nerdy, nice guy who is less than adequate in the bedroom. So when he read this, he sends in a rebuttal under the name Mr. Nice Guy, and their banter goes back and forth and gets viral. They have this agreement to keep seeing each other, and then they'll write articles about their encounter. But so yeah, I mean, it seems really fun. It kind of reminds me of like the Hating Game, but like more adult. So we'll see how this works out. It seems really, really cute. I mean, you know, it's probably gonna go from physical to emotional. I mean, I'm hoping, and it looks cute. Yeah, so when I saw this, I really, really wanted it, and I hope I get to it. And then the next standalone that I have is the flower arrangement by Ella Griffin. So this book is about a woman who knows what type of bouquet to give to her customers. I mean, she knows flowers, but she herself has wounds and needs to heal. And so, you know, I think this book is about her like opening up and trying to find like happiness, really. And what was interesting is that when I looked through it, the chapters are not numbered. It's actually divided into names of a flower. Like this one is delphinium, and it is for comfort and healing. And I think each chapter will go with what type of flower it is. So this chapter is obviously going to be about comfort and healing. So yeah, I thought it was really, really interesting. I have always wanted to know like the meanings of each flowers, and Peony is about blossoming attraction. So yeah, I'm excited to read this because it seems so interesting, and I love flowers. I mean, I don't get them enough. Cough, cough, Marvin. I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, I am excited for this one. I mean, look at how cute that is. I don't know. I fell for it immediately. I want to read more sci-fi and fantasy also, but I don't know if I'm going to get through all of them. I am hoping I can, because I have a lot of books to read, and I'm happy about that. I really am. There's no despair in that. But yeah, so this one I saw and I fell in love with it. This is The Humans by Matt Haig. This book is about an alien who crash lands on Earth, and he do I call it an it? The alien assumes a human body, and so you know, the human body is a he. So he goes about his day really trying to imitate humans. So in an alien's eyes, like how humans work and how, you know, like what differentiates human from other creatures and stuff. So, I mean, it seems so interesting. Like, I can't wait to see like the mundane and normal things that we think we do is actually weird in, you know, a foreign point of view. So yeah, it seems really, really, really cool, and I'm excited for it. This one's definitely going to be, this is happening. Okay, and the next one is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. This has always been, I mean, it's always been in my TBR. I have not read it yet, and the whole concept is really crazy, and it's about burning books. It's about like books that you're not allowed to read or something. I know that there was a movie and then like the firefighters were burning books, and that just made me so sad. But I don't know yet. I don't know the context or anything, so we're gonna have to find out. This is gonna be a must read this month also. But yeah, those are my main ones. I have others that I plan on sneaking into this month. But yeah, those are the main ones. And I'm so excited for it. Like, what? But I don't know. I'm kind of like scared because there's going to be a lot of changes this month and it's going to be super busy. So yeah, it's just hoping for the best. But yeah, that's it.
That's the end of our video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to enter our giveaway by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and answering the question by commenting down below. See you guys in our next video.